And we are live on YouTube, I believe. There we go. Okay, pop that over there. Okay, we got the YouTube chat. Oh. Oh shit, I forgot to put the... Never mind. Too late to do anything about it now. Okay. The character limit on TikTok Live titles is ridiculous. But it doesn't matter, because we are now live. And only 11 minutes late. Wonderful. Okay, hello. Hi everybody. Welcome to the stream. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Trucking Tuesday. We're back in Euro Truck Simulator. We'll get started in just a minute. Sorry for the late start, but we are here now. And we're back. We're back playing some modded Euro Truck. How's everyone's Tuesday? Everyone having a good time? Nice hot day again, but not too hot. That's how I like it. Okay, let me dive straight in. Why not? We've delayed the stream long enough, so let me dive straight on in. So we're continuing this week with our modded Euro Truck playthrough. If you don't know, if this is your first time joining, I like to play Euro Truck with quite a lot of mods. If I just show you the map here and zoom on out, you can see we've got quite a lot of modded map areas, quite a lot of places that can't be visited in the base game. I'll tell you more about them as we go, but currently we are back in Craiova in Romania, which is where my main garage is, and today I think I'd like to explore Northwest Africa. I'd like to try and head down in that direction, so that's what we're going to try and do. First things first though, I've come to my garage because I want to swap out the trailer. I feel like the flatbed is restricting us a little bit in what we can transport, so I want to get a different trailer. I was thinking either the Boxliner or the Feldbinder ADR trailer. It's been a while since we did ADR, to be honest, and you know that I love the Feldbinder ADR trailer here, so maybe we'll use that. Relocate, we'll have to bring it over here first. There we go. Where'd you get that mod from, says Scottish Modding? The mod that adds Africa, there's a few different ones. Hold on. I'll explain the mods as we go. I do have Pro Mods as well, yes. Half Pro Mods is installed, but lots of other stuff too. For Africa, I've got Heart of Africa, Horn of Africa, Road into Wilderness, North Africa, I believe it's called as well. No Maghreb map, because that hasn't been updated to 1.54 yet. But pretty much all the other African maps you can think of. Okay, here is the Feldbinder. I'm still working on putting together a mod list, by the way, because I know people do like to see the mod list and be able to download the mods themselves for yourself. Unfortunately, I'm still working on the mod list. You know, I've got to make sure that I provide download links for all the different mods and make sure that they all actually work as well. We have experienced a few crashes already. So it's not the most stable mod pack, but I will try and get a list out as soon as I can. Where'd you get the starter thingy, says First Responder? The starter here is from the Collector's Edition of Farming Simulator 25. It works quite well with Euro Truck as well, though. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, first things first then. Let's actually get a job. Like I say, I'm going to try and head towards Africa. And we're starting from Craiova. There are currently no cargoes available for your trailer. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? The nearest job is Hot Chemicals, but that's to Myanmar. That's not the right direction at all. Or Hungary? What if we head a bit further south? We could do Bulgaria to Turkey. Do you have pedals, says Dara? Yes, Dara, I've got brake and accelerate pedals. No clutch, unfortunately, at the moment. Okay, maybe this trailer wasn't the best idea then. Maybe we should go with the box liner instead. I was hoping to do some ADR, because there's good money in it, but if there aren't any jobs about, then it's going to be more sensible for us to use a trailer that will actually have a few jobs for us. And I don't mind the box liner either. Or is it the Profi liner? I can't even remember which one it is that we've got. Trailer manager. It is the box liner. This is a... Oh no, it's not the box liner. That's a flatbed. It's the Profi. It is the Profi liner. Right, this is the non-double version. There we go. That's the trailer that I want. We'll relocate this to Romania, to Craiova. If I can... There we go. Hey, I hope you're well. I am Weeman Plays. How are you doing? Have you opened a Farming Sim server, says Zara. I haven't, Zara, no. I don't think there's going to be a server for Farming Sim. Like I said before, we did have a server when I first started Farming Sim, but it was only ever used when I was online, and it didn't seem worth paying the monthly server fee when it was only going to be used for 3 hours a week when I was streaming. So I just ended up cancelling it. I think my game might have froze. I'm not really bothered about doing multiplayer for Farming Sim anyway, for now. Okay, my game appears to have frozen. Good start. I don't know why I don't have Task Manager open at all times when I'm playing this game. I should do. I should always have Task Manager open when I play Euro Truck, because it crashes so often. Okay. Relaunching the game. We'll take two. We're already starting late, and now this. Okay, we'll get back in as quick as we can. Also, you might notice by the title of the stream, we have even more mods this week than last. We got another 13 new mods, 194 total now. Almost 200. We've almost hit the big triple digits. Well, we're already in triple digits. We've almost hit the big 200. That's what I meant to say. Maybe next week. I don't know. I'm always looking for more mods, so the list will just keep getting longer and longer. Okay, while we're loading back in, again, if this is your first time watching a Euro Truck stream and you've not seen the mod list that I've got, I'll talk you through it. So the main mod is Pro Mods. If you're playing modded Euro Truck, Pro Mods is basically a must-have. It's like the core mod that lots of other mods are based on. So I've got Pro Mods Middle East, and Pro Mods The Great Step. And then lots of other bits and pieces as well from various other developers. We got Horn of Africa, Heart of Africa, Road into Wilderness, North Africa, Beyond, Southeast Asia, Rus Maps, Southern Region, Siberia Map, Off the Grid Russia, Trans-Siberian Truckway, Antarctica, Australia, Canada, and more. That's just off the top of my head. There's many, many more as well. But we can go anywhere in Europe. Europe is essentially 100% complete at this point, and we can also visit a good chunk of Russia, Africa, even some bits of Asia. Really pushing the boundaries of Euro Truck Simulator. Can I see your map when you loaded? You can. E1S1SZ, you can indeed see the map when we're in. This is what I was saying earlier, though. When you've got this many mods, the game does become quite unstable. There's already a few known crashes. We can't actually go to Antarctica. According to the mod developer, it is a conflict. It's a known issue. There's a conflict with some of the mod, and they're trying to work on it. So we can't currently go to Antarctica, or it crashes. We can't cross from Russia to Georgia, or it crashes. But that's probably a load order issue. I could probably fix that. And, you know, basically it could crash at any moment. Without warning, any particular road could just crash the game. That's what happens when you play with nearly 200 mods. But it's fun, you know? It's worth it. It's worth it for the actual times when it doesn't crash. Okay. And we're back in. We'll try swapping the trailer again, and hopefully it won't immediately crash it again. Can't make any promises, though. Swap. Okay. It's immediately crashed the game again. Okay, so I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what's going on there. Evidently we can't use that trailer because it just immediately crashes the game when we try to. That means I'm going to have to relaunch the game again, aren't I? Oh god, we're not even... We're nearly 25 minutes in, and we haven't done any driving at all yet. You know what? We'll just stick with the Feldbinder. That'll have to do. Try taking your current trailer off and equipping that one, says Charlie. I could do, but then if it crashes again, that's another relaunch of the game. We'll just stick with the trailer that we've already got, and we'll just have to work with the slightly more restrictive jobs that are available for this trailer. It's had an update to 1.55, says Dog Soldier. Unfortunately, you can't play modded 1.55. Almost no mods have been updated yet because it's only just released, so we are stuck with 1.44. 1.54, sorry. Okay, third time's the charm. We're not going to try switching trailers this time. We're going to stick with the Feldbinder ADR trailer. It does mean we can only... Yeah, I know it crashed. Just load anyway. It does mean we can only do ADR jobs, which there aren't as many of compared to jobs with the Profiliner trailer. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. How much will you set up, says Luke? About £2,000, Luke, for everything. That includes all the stuff that you see here, as well as monitors, computer, etc, etc. Check out my second video on my profile if you want to know more. Looks mint. Thank you very much, Luke. I have a feeling today's stream might be slightly cursed, because we started almost 15 minutes late. That was the first bad omen. The game's already crashed twice before we even started driving. I've got a bad feeling about today, I can't lie. I've got a bad feeling about this stream. I don't think it's going to end well. Gender, says Minty Lou. I'm a trans woman. Minty Lou came out about 4 years ago. And I've lived as a woman ever since. Might as well have some iron brew while I wait. Lovely. We'll get there. We'll get there. Is it on PS5, says Rocked? It isn't Rocked, no. It's PC only, this game, unfortunately. Oh, also, you probably won't notice, but I've made the game slightly larger on the stream. It does cut off the very edges of the game window, but hopefully it won't really disturb the viewing experience, and it should, you know, make it a bit better because the screen is slightly bigger on stream now. So let me know how it does look. Hey Daniel, how are you doing? Are you from the UK? I am indeed, yes, I'm from South Yorkshire. Okay, we're in. We got the Feldbinder. We're going to keep the Feldbinder. I'm not even going to attempt to switch trailers again because we do not have time for another crash. We're just going to stick with what we've got, and we'll just have to make it work. There aren't many jobs available for this trailer, but we literally can't switch trailers, or the game might crash again, and I don't want that to happen. I'm good, you? I'm pretty good, Daniel, yeah. Can't complain. Right. Job. Let's see what we can find. Cargo market. Actually, it might be a good idea to sleep first, because it is quite late. And once we've slept, there might be a couple more jobs available. So we'll do that. I think we might need repairs as well, actually. Yes, 2%. That's not... We'll get repair. We might as well get repairs while we're here, but it's not urgent. Like, it's not falling apart or anything. It's my favourite streamer. Hi, Dre Dog. How you doing? Thank you. High praise. Okay. Service. I'll just do service recommendations. I don't think anything needs... I mean, the cab could do with replacing quite soon. But it's going to cost 58 grand. I think we'll just stick with service recommendations for now. And then, now if we check the cargo market, there might be some more jobs available. Nothing from Craiova. Hunadora. to Sarajevo, Barcelona, Skopje, Osijek. None of them are quite where I'm wanting to be, though. No, see, there doesn't seem to be any jobs going southwest, which is what we really want. Uzbekistan? Oh no, that's Uganda. UZ is Uganda. No, wait. What is UZ? No. Why is Uganda... What's this country above Uganda? I'm not great at geography. Someone tell me. Anyway, it's too big of a job to do. I'm not going all that way, but... UZ? I don't know. I genuinely am not sure. Ostrava... Oh, right, okay. The jobs have the wrong destinations. Because this one says it's to Ostrava in the Czech Republic, but it's actually to Nigeria. Oh, wait, no, hang on. I'm an idiot. I just didn't click on a town. That would explain a lot. Ignore me. I'm just being stupid. Novi Sad to Malaysia, Debrecen, Skopje, Budapest, Kozno. Yeah, there's really not many jobs going south west. We've really fucked ourselves over right from the get-go with... You know what, we could just fast travel. Yeah, actually, I've got a better idea. Let's just quick travel to, like, Algeria or somewhere like that. And then we're already in Africa. You know, that's half the job done. Let's just go to Blida in Algeria. Why not? Don't crash. If it crashes... thanks for the gifts, Churfan, by the way, or Sharefan, sorry. Okay, no crash so far. I have just accidentally shut the engine down, though. There we go. Turn the beacon on. The beacon doesn't work at the minute, Jaden. It doesn't work. It's like 50-50 whether it works or not with this game. It's very temperamental with this game. It works perfectly with Farming Sim, but obviously it is designed for Farming Sim. Okay, so hopefully now there will be some jobs here. That's better. Blida to Arachidia in... Is that Morocco? MA? Looks like it. As good a job as any to start with. And it will be our first proper drive into Northwest Africa, so let's do it. What mod do you use for the map, says EDSX Emil. I am going to put together a mod list, Emil, because there are so many mods. I've got almost 200 mods active. But the one that adds in Africa is called North Africa. It's on Truckee Mods. Most of my mods are from Truckee Mods, with the exception of Pro Mods, which comes from Pro Mods' own website, and a couple of other bits and pieces. I don't know why I'm in 9th there. Are you planning on streaming more than 3 days a week, or are you sticking to 3 days? I'm going to stick with 3 days, Dre Dog. I think 3 days is the perfect amount. Because I want to be able to have time to do other stuff as well. You know, I don't just do live streams, I also make videos. I'm working on a video at the minute, which is going to be coming out Thursday, from my latest Peak District trip. So I think 3 streams a week is the perfect amount. It's not too many, but it's not too little either. Thanks, Maidstone Till I Die, for following. Ooh, big lag spike there. Lag spikes are another thing that are going to be common with all the mods that we've got. I think we're a little bit off the mark there. Something tells me. to be a bit further to the right. That's better. Okay, stop, shut down the engine, and start loading. Tourist Bus Simulator is the best game, says Rectory. I've heard of Tourist Bus Simulator, yes. Could be worth checking out, maybe. Okay, how far is it to our destination? 11 hours 21. Our next rest stop is in 10 hours 47, so we will need to take one rest stop along the way. Let's put that in now before we forget. I'd say probably... Well, let's just go halfway. Let's go just past Ujda. No, it won't let me put a marker on the actual gas station there, but that'll do. We'll find it once we get there. And we're off. First job of the day, at last, begins. Hello, down the man. How are you doing? So when it says 10 hours, does that actually mean 10 minutes? No, it's probably going to be about half an hour, 45 minutes. Ooh, nearly ran a traffic light there. Where are you at? Says Apricot. We're currently in Blida in Algeria. This job is to Morocco. Any trolls in the live yet? Says Dan the man. Not yet, Dan, but it's early days. We're only half an hour in. Go to Spain, says Apricot. I'm going to be trying to stick to North Africa today, because we haven't really explored North Africa. Last time we did modded Euro Truck, we didn't have North Africa. So it's mostly unexplored territory. Some of it was included in Maghreb map, which it hasn't been updated yet to 1.54. But a lot of the places in this part of the world we haven't visited yet. Shift down a little bit. There we go, that's better. Why don't you play Warzone, says Aaron. I have no interest in playing Warzone, Aaron. Not my kind of game. Have you heard of Call Me By Your Name? I don't think so. Apricot, no. Do you play any multiplayer games with fans from TikTok, says Zara? Occasionally, yes. I have done some multiplayer Euro Truck on Truckers MP, and we've had a few viewers join in those streams. Watch PC specs, says NMD. So I have an Intel i5 processor, 11400F, RTX 2070 graphics card, that's 8 gigabytes, 32 gigs RAM, and 5 terabytes storage. I'm going to switch over to the right-hand lane. What's your name, by the way? My name is Saul, spell S-A-U-L. Okay, I think let's slow it down just a tad. We might have to follow the speed limit here because these guys are pretty slow drivers. Actually, I don't think he's even doing the speed limit, the guy in front of me, because the speed limit is 56, and he's only doing 50. Come on, put your foot down a bit, man. Thanks for following Lewis on Boardman. Okay, I think I'm going to try and overtake. There is quite a lot of traffic in the middle lane, though. I have to choose my moment. Okay, let's do it. Oh, I'm going to be stuck behind another caravan. I'm going from being stuck behind one caravan to another one. What load do you have, says Charlie's Life? Currently we have hot chemicals, 21 tons, in the old Feldbinder ADR trailer, one of my favourite trailers in the game. Hi Henry, how you doing? I'm pretty good, yeah, can't complain. Having a pretty good day. Ooh. Traffic slowed down quite quickly there. So I believe we're still in Algeria. We haven't crossed any border, as far as I'm aware. Might be worth going to the left-hand lane. I'm going to try and get in front of this traffic here. What happens if you crash, says Cameron? If you crash, the truck gets damaged. That's basically it. You have to get towed and pay for it to be repaired. Okay, let's bring it down to a more sensible speed. Let's see where we are. We are still in Algeria. Another 4.5 hours to the rest point. There's so many caravans. I don't know why there's so many caravans here. Come on, I need to be in the middle lane. I need to change lanes now. Right now. Can you hurry up? Quickly, please, please. I'm going to miss my... Thank you. That was close. We've discovered Schleff. Do you have Forza 5, says Charlie's Life? I don't, Charlie, no. I don't really play racing games. Only 3 more days, says Ben, till Farming Sim, yeah. Hello Hot Pot, says notifications, how are you doing? Do you have King mods for Farming Sim? No, all of my Farming Sim mods are from the mod hub. I only get mods for Farming Sim from Mod Hub. I have played with a couple of third-party mods on FS19 and 22, but in 25 so far I've only been using I've only been using Mod Hub mods. What are you like driving in person? I don't drive in real life, Si. I've never driven. I don't even have a provisional. Honk the horn, please, says DM. Unfortunately, the horn is broken in this truck. Even if I press H on the keyboard or spacebar, it does nothing. So you don't have a license? No, I don't. I'm a bit over the line there. I think I need to be in the right lane. The sat-nav's telling me so. H is not pronounced with the H. What? Oh yeah, yeah. H is actually pronounced H. If you're going to be pedantic about it, I don't care. Does anyone actually care whether you say H or H? How much is your PC setup cost, says Si? About £2 Si for the whole thing. That includes all of the stuff that you see here, as well as the monitors, PC, webcams, you know, all that kind of stuff. If you want to know more about individual bits and pieces, do check out my second video on my profile. It tells you everything that I've got, where it all came from, and how much all the individual pieces cost. I'm getting a bit reckless here. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit. But yeah, check that video out if you want to know more. What's your gender so I don't mess up in the future, says Dizzy J. I'm a trans woman, Dizzy J. I've been out for about 4 years now. Is it the Hori wheel or Logitech, says Charlie's Life? This is the Logitech heavy equipment wheel. Okay, how far are we from the rest stop, actually? Getting pretty close. It's nice being able to pause the game as well, because obviously on Truckers MP, it's multiplayer, so you can't pause the game. You have to come to a complete stop to open the map. But here, I can just open the map at any time. Thanks for the heart me, Panda, by the way. Do you play Farm Simulator, says Si? I do, Si. I stream Farming Sim every Friday. Do come along on Friday if you want to see that. 3 PM till 6 PM, same time as all my other streams. But we're currently playing a map called Moss Valley, based on Sheffield in South Yorkshire. Great map, really enjoying the game so far. Truckers MP's pure madness, says Charlie's Life. It really is, it really is. Fun though. I'm driving through Poland right now, says PFK. Nice one, PFK. IRL or in Euro Truck? It's worth asking. Because I do occasionally get comments from actual truck drivers who are like, oh, I'm in Slovakia right now. In Euro Truck. Fair enough. PFK. What's your load on the truck? Currently we're carrying 21 tons of hot chemicals. To Morocco, specifically to Eritrea. Organised madness. Yeah, that about sums it up, Charlie. Hello, Cameron. How you doing? Thanks for following Rafi and Amy. Why do you ignore me every live? I ask you a question, you never answer it, says Harley. I haven't seen any questions from you, Harley. I'll be honest with you. Why won't TikTok show it? You may have asked a question that's been automatically flagged. Usually they're flagged for a reason. If you want to reword the question, by all means do. But again, I was saying this yesterday in my Minecraft stream. There are certain keywords that get filtered out, so if you've asked me a question that contains one of those keywords, there's probably a reason that the question didn't even get through. What truck are you driving? This is the Scania Streamline R730. Fantastic truck. One of my absolute favourites. Someone asked why is it the 8-wheeled version? The reason I've got the 8-wheeled version of the truck for such a small trailer is because I use this truck for everything in this game. I just use this truck for every single job. So I'd rather have a truck that's overpowered than one that's underpowered, you know? So it does look a bit ridiculous having this massive 8-wheel truck on this tiny little trailer. But then the thing is, after this job I could go straight on to like a massive heavy-duty job without having to switch trucks. So it just makes sense to have a slightly overpowered truck. Because it can do anything then, you know? Hello, Peugeot, how are you doing today? Thank you for following Charlie's Life. How much euro is Euro Truck Simulator? I'm not sure, Queen Marika. I think the price, I know it's normally £13, but I'm not sure the exchange rate, don't ask me. But it is currently on sale because the Steam summer sale's on, so you might be able to get it a bit cheaper as well at the moment. Does it have a redundant third axle, says Panda? It does, Panda. I could actually lift the third axle, because we don't really need it for this particular job. Maybe when I pull over to the next rest stop, I'll lift the third axle. I finally got back home after my car broke down on the M1. Oh my god, Peugeot, sorry to hear that. Hope you can get it sorted alright. Why would you need to lift the third axle, says Queen Marika. It doesn't really affect anything gameplay-wise, but in real life, you know, you just wouldn't have all 4 axles down for a trailer that isn't that heavy. Ooh. I was drifting a little bit there. I think we'll get over to the right-hand lane anyway, because we're going to have to come off in a moment to the petrol station. Lane hogger, says Joe Cooper. I have been known to hog lanes, yes, in this game. Just tyre preservation then? Yeah, in real life, I guess it puts a bit less strain on the tyres that don't need to be down. You wearing your little sister's shirt? This is a dress, Joe Cooper. Once again, straight men confirming that they actually can't identify a single piece of clothing. Every time I'm streaming, there's always someone like, why are you wearing a dress when I'm not wearing a dress? Or if I am wearing a dress, they'll be like, why are you wearing a tank top or a crop top? Like, I'm convinced that straight men just don't know the difference between a dress, a crop top, a vest. You know, they just can't tell the difference between different items of clothing. What wheel and stuff do you use, says Nina? This is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel, as well as the side panel here. Absolutely fantastic. Who says he's straight? Stop assuming. I say he's straight because he saw this and thought that it was a top when it's clearly a dress. No gay person would make that mistake. I don't make the rules, you know. I've yet to get into Dressers 2 Chicken, says Queen Marika. You should do it, Queen Marika. It's I love wearing dresses. They're very freeing. Let's just say that. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together. They're very unrestrictive, which is good. I think it's bizarre that that women wear dresses and men don't, because it really should be the other way round, just based on what's going on downstairs. You know, it just makes more sense for people with those genitals to wear dresses. Again, I'm just saying, if we're being logical about it, dresses should be for males, really. Oh, this is a bit of a bottleneck. Okay. Do you know a cheap gaming laptop? I don't, to be honest. Well, actually, no. My gaming laptop, before I got my first PC, I had a Lenovo IdeaPad. I can't remember the exact make of it, but it wasn't too bad for gaming, and it was fairly cheap. It had 16 gig RAM, which is not bad for a laptop. Unfortunately, I can't remember how much it cost, and I also can't remember the exact model that it was, so that's going to be completely useless to you. But Lenovo in general, I would recommend. Lenovo do some good laptops. They do some quite powerful laptops that aren't too expensive. It's not like a proper gaming laptop. It's not like an Alienware laptop or anything fancy like that. But they're not bad, and you can use them for gaming. I mean, I played quite a lot of Euro Truck on that PC, on that laptop back in the day. 2013 Peugeot says, I used to run ETS on 4 gigabytes of RAM. Damn, Peugeot. I don't think I've ever run Euro Truck on 4 gigabytes, but my very first laptop had like 2 gigabytes of RAM, and I used to play Minecraft on it. And the people who play Minecraft will know it's not the best optimized game. Is this game on PS5? It isn't, unfortunately. This is a PC-only game. Is this single player or Truckers MP? This is single player, Mason. Where you heading to? Says Somalian men kissing. I'm heading to Morocco at the minute. We're currently just crossing the border from Algeria into Morocco right now. Bit further forward. What truck is that, says Mason? This is the Scania Streamline R730. Okay, and we're in to Morocco. Lovely. Is this location base game or DLC? This is a mod, Mason. This is a mod called North Africa. Oh dear, what's happened there then? Someone's had a bit of an accident, it seems. Completely flipped it. Hopefully that won't happen to us. Have you got an engine sound mod, says Panda? Yes, I do have a mod called, I think it's just called Realistic Engine Sounds. I've got a few sound mods and graphic quality mods, you know, like lighting and stuff like that as well, just to enhance the experience. But yeah, a couple of sounds. We got realistic traffic sounds and realistic train sounds as well. Does it include the base game locations, or does Africa replace them? It includes them, yeah. It's a map expansion, so it doesn't replace any of the base game areas. I was going to say I don't remember them sounding like that. Yeah, it does sound a little bit different with the sound mod. Ujda discovered. Trucker Donkey says you should get the Transcania S Highline skin. Is that like a special paint job? Because I'm quite happy with the paint job I've got now, actually. This is a custom paint job that I've done to be the colours of the Trans Pride flag, and I really love it. I think it works really well. Okay, we're nearly at the rest point now. Thanks for following, SBR. What's AMA mean, says Elliot? AMA is short for Ask Me Anything, Elliot. I do my best to answer all legitimate questions. Emphasis on the legitimate, if you don't mind. Hello, Ben. How are you doing? Peugeot says going back to Poland by car this week as well. Well, good luck, Peugeot. You do a lot of driving around Europe by car, Peugeot. How come? By the way. I mean, do you just like driving? Fair enough, if that's the case. What steering wheel you got, and how much was your wheel setup and gear stick? The steering wheel is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel, which I got in a bundle with the side panel here, £230. The gear shifter is the Thrustmaster T248. No, it's not. That's a wheel. It's the Thrustmaster TH8S, which was £70, and the handbrake here was £35. And then the ignition locks from the collector's edition of FS25, that was £60. The Peugeot has 440,000 miles on it. I bought it when it had 30k. Damn, Peugeot, you have really put that car through its paces. Wow. Almost 500,000 miles. What? Jesus. How much altogether? 230 plus 70, that's 300, 360, 390, about £400 just for this stuff here. But obviously the rest of my setup was not cheap either. Check out my second pinned video if you want to know more, because in that video I talk about every single component, where I got it from, how much it cost, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to know more, please do check it out. Why is your wheel twitching, says PL. The wheel's twitching because it's very old. I've had this for over 3 years now, and it has seen better days. It's very bruised and battered. You can see that it is drifting quite badly to the left as well. I am looking to upgrade to a new wheel quite soon, because again, this has really had its day at this point. But that's why the in-game wheel keeps twitching, and that's why it drifts to the left as well. Okay, let's refuel. What do you go by, says Will? She, her, Will. If you meant pronouns. If you mean name, my name is Saul. That's S-A-U-L. Thanks for following, Summer. Okay, we're full. Now I've replaced my gearbox for the 4th time in its ownership. Damn, Peugeot. I imagine it's a bit of a Ship of Theseus situation. How much of the original car is left? Your poor parents, says Liz. Please don't feel sorry for my parents, Liz. They are incredibly supportive of me, and they have been from the absolute... From day one, from the get-go. They've always been there for me. Please consider Saulette. That's quite good, actually. Only the gearbox has been replaced on it. Wow, you must take good care of it then, Peugeot. Oh, it's night time. I don't like driving at night because you can't see very far. What's your favourite fruit? Says LJ. Ooh. Now there's a question, LJ. I like berries. I'm a berry person. Blueberries, strawberries. I like melon as well, though. I think honeydew melon might be a contender. I do like kiwis, but I've got to be in the right mood for kiwis because they're a bit more sour. I can't just have a kiwi on a whim, you know. I've got to be in the mood for that sort of thing. But whereas a melon, you know, a honeydew melon, I could just sit down and eat that anytime. So I'd say probably honeydew melon. Saulina, that's a good one as well. Just ignoring people, says Matthias. I mean, as you can see, Matthias, I'm literally talking to the chat right now. I'm not ignoring people. Been sunny in the UK, says Hayden. It has been, Hayden, yes. It's been lovely weather. We did get a little bit of rain last night, which was appreciated. It's been a while, but it's been quite nice. For real though, you got such a unique name, it's lovely. Thank you very much. One of the reasons that I kept my name when I came out is because it is a fairly unique name. There aren't many people called Saul in the UK. It's a much more common name in America, but in the UK, there aren't too many Sauls about. There was only one other kid called Saul in my entire secondary school, so it is a fairly unique name. And I really wanted to keep it when I came out because it's I just think it's a really great name. Thanks for following, DJ Robert John. How are you doing? Ooh, nearly. Ooh. Okay, there's some roadworks here. That ignition switch I need to invest in, says CJ Trainspotting. You should, CJ Trainspotting. It currently is with the collector's edition of Farming Sim 25, which costs £60. You can probably, if you wait for a little bit, you'll probably pick it up second hand eventually for a bit cheaper. That's how I got the beacon light. That was only a £5. But currently, like I say, it's from the collector's edition of FS25, which will set you back £60. Your lights are broken, probably a mod, says GTC4. My lights are not broken, GTC4. I have a realistic headlights mod, which is why the vision cone of the lights is lower than in the base game. But that's not broken, that is intentional. I'm going home. How are you today? Says DJ Robert John. I'm pretty good. Pretty good, Robert. Nice day. I mainly play Bus Sim though, to be fair, says CJ Trainspotting. It does work with Bus Sim, I'm pretty sure. Wait, did I have this when we played OMSI? I can't remember if we played OMSI before or after FS25 came out. I think I've tried it with OMSI and it did work. But I could be wrong on that. Your game looks so much smoother than mine. I need me some mods, says Just a Chill Dad. If you want a few mods that make the game look better, Just a Chill Dad, I do recommend some of the graphics mods that are out there. I've got a couple of graphics overhauls, sound overhauls, things like that. I've got realistic weather. I've got 4K trees, which you can't see because it's pitch black right now, but in the daytime, the trees are 4K, which is pretty cool. There are so many mods out there that like overhaul aspects of the graphics, which I definitely recommend checking out. Chromosomes X and Y originally, says T-Cozy. Yes, not only originally, but my chromosomes are in fact still X and Y. Your chromosomes don't change when you become transgender. I was born with XY chromosomes, and I still have XY chromosomes. In your description it says AMA, what does that mean? Says Dan. AMA is short for Ask Me Anything, Dan. I am here to answer questions as well as play the game. I think, you know, I don't understand streamers who just sit there and play the game and don't interact with chat. For me personally, the whole point of streaming is so that you can interact with people and have conversations and stuff like that. So I am here to talk, I am here to answer questions and chat with you as well as playing the game. ProMods 2 says Sledzy, yes, I do have the ProMods suite, ProMods Middle East, and ProMods The Great Step, as well as the cabin accessories and vehicle replacement. Do you play VR? Says Dark Destroyer. I don't, Dark Destroyer. I don't have a VR headset. Fun fact: I have, if I can get the words out, I have actually done a little bit of work with VR when I was at university. I made a prototype escape room game in VR, which was pretty cool. So actually, I have more experience of making games in VR than I do playing them, because I've never played games in VR. Well, I tell a lie. I have very briefly tried a couple of games, but nothing major. How much storage is your full ETS2 and mods, I wonder? Good question, CJ Trainspotting. I'm not sure, actually. I'll have to check it out, but I imagine quite big. ProMods is a game changer, makes the towns a lot more interesting. I do agree, Sledzy. ProMods, if you, I said it earlier, but if you play modded Euro Truck, I think ProMods is a must-have. That's like the first mod that you should get if you want to play this game with mods. And, you know, not to mention the fact that so many other mods depend on ProMods, they like build on it. So ProMods is definitely the core of the mod pack that I'm playing with right now. I play some escape room ones, says Dark Destroyer. I think an escape room game is like the perfect game for VR. I really do think that VR, it has its uses. I think it's good for simulators as well. It's good for games like this. I would love to get VR and play a game like this with it. But another thing that I think VR is perfect for is like escape room type stuff, like puzzle games and stuff like that. I think it works really well for that kind of thing. I just thought about it, and the Peugeot is worth £2,000, whereas over the years I've spent about something on it, says Peugeot. I think your comment might have been cut off a bit, Peugeot. So the Peugeot... Oh, 15k... Whoa, okay. So the Peugeot itself was worth 2k originally, but you've spent 15k on it over the years. That's impressive. You've put a lot of time and effort into it, clearly. So do you just drive straight, says Kyle Eason? No, you don't just drive straight. Sometimes you turn corners as well. Okay, we must be getting quite close at this point. We're 3 hours, 8 minutes away. Hello, Bennett Racing. How are you doing? Do you like football, says Robert14. I don't, Robert, no. I'm not into football. I'm not really a sporty person. Football's just never been my cup of tea. Despite my family trying to get me into it over the years, my dad tried to get me into football. He supports Newcastle. And then my uncle tried to get me into football. He took me to a couple of games. He supports Chef Wednesday. But I could never get into it. I never really found it interesting. It's not for me, you know. Thanks for following Anne Fazil and Kyle Eason. Do you like crochet, says D? No, D, not really. I did enjoy cross stitch for a while. I think cross stitch is pretty cool. Sorry, scratching my ear. I think cross stitch is pretty cool because you can like essentially cross stitch is like pixel art but in real life. You know, you can make like big collages and really detailed pictures with cross stitch. It's definitely something that I might want to get back into at some point. I might have shown it in some of my previous live streams. I have a cross stitch of a Lancaster bomber. I didn't do it myself, but I have a picture that's about this big, which is a cross stitch of a Lancaster bomber. It looks really cool. Found it in a charity shop. But yeah, I think you can. I think cross stitch is really cool, and I'd love to do it more often. or at all. Do you do racing games like Forza, says Dark Destroyer? Not really, Dark Destroyer. I'm not too into racing games. I think I would be if I had a racing wheel, which is another reason that I want to upgrade my wheel, because this wheel here isn't really suitable for racing games. But if I did have a proper racing wheel, I might consider it. How you doing, Catman Charlie? Welcome to the stream. Is there an aim to the game? I've never heard of it. Is it just a driving game? Yeah, pretty much. You just do deliveries around Europe, or in this case, we're in Africa right now. Thanks for following Hugh G. Rection. Great username. Thank you very much. Can't watch today as I've got family over. That's alright, Charlie. Thanks for popping in anyway. Have a good day. Do you stream ETS often? Every Tuesday, and Fazil. Moser's the best place for wheels. I need to get the Moser truck wheel with the indicators. I'm actually, CJ, I'm looking at the Thrustmaster T248 for my next wheel, because it's you can get a conversion kit for it so that you can use it as a racing wheel and a trucking wheel. For those of you who don't know, the main difference between racing wheels and trucking wheels is the angle of the wheel. So trucking wheels are more horizontal, whereas racing wheels are more vertically oriented, if that makes sense. But with the Thrustmaster T248, you can get a kit for it which lets you easily switch positions. So I could do a trucking game like this, and then I could just literally just flip a switch and then adjust the wheel into racing mode and then play racing games with it, which is really cool. I think that's what I'm going to go for when I do get my next wheel, because I think it's a really cool idea, and I wish more wheels did that. Moser a direct drive, so you can just detach the wheel and put a race or F1 wheel on, says Trainspotting. That is pretty cool, yeah, but even then, I would still have to buy two separate wheels. Whereas with the Thrustmaster, it's literally the same wheel can just be converted into truck mode or racing mode. Again, I think because I don't want to spend too much either, I'm on a fairly restrictive budget. I have looked around at other wheels, and I do think the Thrustmaster is going to be the best option for me. But thank you for the recommendation. Love your top, where's it from, says Leah. So this is actually a dress, Leah, which I got from... It might have been a charity shop, actually, this one. I've said it before, but a lot of my wardrobe is charity shop stuff. I do buy new stuff as well. I buy a lot of stuff from Pretty Little Thing and Boohoo in particular. But I do get quite a lot of stuff from charity shops as well. There's quite a few charity shops in Doncaster, and you can find some gems there, you know, you can find some really great stuff there. I don't understand people who like look down on charity shops. All the stuff there is, you know, well looked after, you know. If it wasn't any good, then they'd get rid of it, you know what I mean? I think people have this idea about charity shops, like, oh, I don't want to buy dirty, ripped clothes that other people have worn, but that's, you know, that's not how it is at all. They wash the clothes before they sell them. They don't sell things that are ripped and tatty and completely destroyed, you know? When you go to a charity shop, you know that all the stuff there has already been sorted, and it's all, like, good quality stuff that's ready to wear. So yeah, big fan of charity shops. You can find some great stuff there. This is a charity shop find, and it's amazing. Really nice dress, really comfortable. Love the shoulders and neckline, says Leah. It is really, really nice. I like the thing is, I can't wear anything that's cut too low, because obviously these aren't real. There's nothing going on down there. So I don't like to wear things that are too low cut. I like stuff that's got this sort of neck, that it shows a little bit of the whatever this part's called here, but it's not too low cut that it shows my non-existent chest area. The Moser one's about 1k, not a cheap hobby. Yeah, that's the thing as well, CJ. It's definitely not a cheap hobby to get into. You can find stuff on a good budget, but you do really have to look around for it. What's the most annoying thing people say to you as a trans person? Says it's Havoc. There are so many things, says it's Havoc. I don't think I could really point to one specific thing. Because to be honest, nothing really annoys you once you've heard it enough times, you know? Once you've been asked the same question 50 times, it's no longer annoying. Well, it's annoying in a different way, you know? It becomes more annoying just in the way that I've already answered this question 50 times and it's just getting tedious, you know? But I don't think I could point to a specific thing that, like, makes me roll my eyes when people ask me it, because there are so many things that applies to. I'm the same low-key. Oh, I'm sorry, Leah. I mean, self-confidence is key, you know. I'm fairly self-confident, definitely. Like I say, the only reason that I don't want to show that area is because there really is nothing down there. But I mean, even showing this much of myself, I wouldn't have imagined doing like 5 years ago, you know. Before I came out, I covered myself up a lot more than I do now. I would never wear anything that was like as low as this. And you've seen some, if you've watched any of my previous streams, you've seen some of the other stuff that I wear as well. You've seen some of the crop tops and stuff like that I wear. I am definitely a lot more confident showing myself now than I was a few years ago. But yeah, we're not quite ready for that area yet. Amazing driving. Thanks, Mental Health Matters. Have you ever thought about surgery? I haven't, no. I don't want to get surgery. It's not something that I feel I personally need. I would like to do hormone therapy, obviously. That's something that I do want to get onto at some point. And hormone therapy will probably give me the results that I'm looking for up top anyway. But I don't want surgery. It's just not necessary for me. Lucy says, I'm trans and I wear a sports bra and night pros in public. Nice one, Lucy. I'm hopefully wanting HRT. Good on you, good on you. I hope it goes well for you. Yeah, HRT is definitely something that I want to get onto, but I want to wait till I'm a bit more financially stable, because I definitely want to do it privately. I have absolutely no interest in even attempting to go through the NHS. The waiting lists are incredibly long. You know, the care could be revoked at any minute. Not to fearmonger or anything like that, but with the way the NHS is going at the minute, with the way that the legislation is going in this country at the minute, I would not be surprised if in a few years' time the NHS just completely stops any form of transgender care. And I don't want to end up in that boat if that ever did happen. I'd prefer to just wait till I've got a bit more money behind me and go private. But it is definitely something that I want to do. I'm straight, but I respect your gender. Thanks, Lil Mills. Thank you very much. I'm surprised we're not there yet. I thought we were really close. We are really close. This road has gone on for quite a while. Do you play Grow a Garden, says MTFC Riley? I've never heard of that, Riley, I'll be honest. Thanks for following Low Mills, and thanks Lucy X063 as well. Okay, I see Eric Chidia. I see the lights of the city ahead. We're nearly there. How long have you been trans, girl? Says Lucy. I came out 4 years ago, Lucy. Exactly 4 years ago. It was July 2021. I couldn't tell you the exact day. But it was 4 years ago. Thanks for following Shine Echo Neko. Proud of you. Thank you, Lucy. Boy or girl? Neither. Woman. Hi, Banjo Man. How are you doing? Playing modded again? I am indeed, yes. We are on modded Euro Truck again today. It's going to be really hard to reverse into here because I don't have any reverse lights. Bet your dad's very proud. He is, yes. My dad's very proud. He's been one of my biggest supporters over the years. My whole family have been incredibly supportive. But my dad in particular has been very, very vocally in my corner, as it were. And there we go. Job done. Excellent. 59 grand. Not bad. We could get our new cab now then, I guess. Okay. First things first, let's have a quick look at the map and see if we can find a repair place. Just around the corner there. What was your gender dysphoria symptoms, says Lucy? I'll be honest, Lucy, I don't think I have gender dysphoria per se. I think if I went to like a psychiatrist, I do not think I'd be diagnosed with gender dysphoria. I definitely have experiences that could be, you know, that are obviously related and that could be taken as gender dysphoria, but I genuinely don't think I'd be diagnosed if I went for a diagnosis. That being said, I've always had, you know, a few feelings of discomfort with my body and myself. I never really felt comfortable growing up as a boy, but I could never quite put my finger on why it was, you know. That's why I hesitate to use the word gender dysphoria, because I think for a lot of trans people, they know from a very young age, you know. With me, it was more like I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And it took me a long time to realise. But looking back, like I say, there were a lot of signs. I had a lot of body image issues. I really hated the shape of my body. I hated my size, my weight. I hated the sound of my voice, my hair. You know, so many things about myself. I just felt really uncomfortable with. But it wasn't until a few years ago that I really started to piece it together and question whether it might be because I was transgender and, you know, that might be what was causing it. And ultimately that did turn out to be the case. But yeah, I went a long time without even questioning it, without even realising it. Hair can be cut, mate. All those things you've stated you can change yourself. Yes, you can, 337RH1. I have had no surgery, no hormones. I have not done any form of medical transition in the 4 years that I've been out. All of this is just changes that I've made myself. You've literally just explained the concept of social transition. Well done. Thanks for following, Oakley. You're amazing, the person you are. Thank you, Lil Mills. I'm going to replace the cab this time. Thanks for following, Josh. I love your videos. Thanks, Maisie. Oh, wait, did we? There we go. Okay. Were your parents supportive, says Connor O'Neill? They were, Connor, yes. My parents have been incredibly supportive over the years. My stepmom was the first person I came out to. Then I came out to my mum and dad. They've all been absolutely incredible. They've, like I say, they've always fought in my corner. They've always stood by my side. They've helped me every step of the way. Are you going to play farming? Not till Friday, Alfie. Oh, should I sleep as well while I'm here? Yeah, I think I will. So are you now a girl, says Summer? Yes. Well, not a girl, a woman. But I am a trans woman. I came out 4 years ago. I've lived as a woman ever since. My friends and family know me as a woman. You know, my neighbours, everyone around me. knows the situation. I live in a fairly small village as well, so I think pretty much everyone who lives around me is aware at this point. And I'm just treated like a woman by everyone in the community, which is nice. Some people, unfortunately, aren't so lucky, but I've been incredibly lucky in my particular case. I've been really lucky that everyone around me has been so understanding and supportive. Would you have the voice operation to sound more feminine, says Greg? Not an operation, Greg, no. I would like to do voice training, but I've no intention of getting surgery of any kind. I just don't really feel it's necessary for me. Oh my god, where? Oh, that's Indonesia. Okay, that's a bit too far, I think, for today. Chichawa, also in Morocco. Acid, 21 tons. That seems like a good one. Let's do that for our next job. No farming sim today. No, Connell. Next farming sim stream is going to be Friday. What's your bicep routine? Says Locked, not loaded. My bicep routine is called being underweight. I know I've said it before, but the reason I look more muscular than I actually am is because I have almost no body fat. It's a problem. I'm not bragging. I hate being underweight, but I really can't do anything about it. I've got quite a high metabolism. I've tried to put on weight many times and failed. My body's just decided how much it wants to weigh, and it's never going to let me change that. It is what it is. My granddad was the same, though. He weighed the same from, like, the age of 18 until the day he died in his 70s. So, there is precedent within the family. HRT might help with weight, says Kate. I have heard that HRT can help with weight retention as well, and I do hope that I can put on a few kilograms with HRT, because, like I say, I really would like to weigh a little bit more. I just want to be a healthy weight, you know, and technically I am not a healthy weight. I am technically underweight by my BMI, which isn't always the best indicator of weight, you know. You can have an over or underweight BMI and still be healthy. I mean, I know me personally, I'm a very healthy person. I don't have any medical problems or anything like that. But yes, I am technically underweight if we're going purely by BMI. I think I'm about 2 kilograms below the healthy weight for my size, for my height, which is not extreme, but again, it is under the ideal amount, really. What stone are you, says Bruno? I don't know. I don't weigh myself in stone. I weigh myself in kilograms. I weigh 49 kilograms. Which is not much. Is this Truckers MP, says Ash? Corbin Ashley? No, this is single player, Corbin. Damn, I'm twice as heavy as you, says Why Are You Looking At My Name? Well, good on you, Why Are You Looking At My Name? I wish I was twice as heavy as me. Well, maybe not twice as heavy. Like I say, I wish I was just a bit... I just wish I wasn't quite so skinny, you know. How's the truck driving going? It's going good, Craig. It's going good. How much is the game, says Kia? The game is normally $13.50, but it's currently on sale because the Steam Summer Sale's on. I think it's like $4.50 at the minute. So check it out. Oh, hang on. There we go. My indicator stopped working just then. Do you know if your dad is happy about the signing of Ilanga? I'm going to guess that's a player who's just been signed with Newcastle, who my dad supports. I genuinely don't know. I literally never talk to my dad about football because I have no interest in it, and he knows that I have no interest in it. So I don't know. I don't know what his feelings are on that. Thanks for following Darts254. Why is the steering not smooth, says Robinson? It's because of the wheel. This is a very old wheel at this point. I've had it for over 3 years, and it has seen better days. It's been, you know, a lot of wear and tear. It's been knocked about a lot and stuff like that over the years, so it's not in the best condition. That's why there's the occasional jittering like that, and that's also why it occasionally pulls off to the left. I am looking to get a new wheel fairly soon, though. Maybe this year, maybe next year, but at some point, fairly soon, I would like to upgrade. Thanks for following Robert14 and Danny. Where are you in your truck, says Corbin? We're currently in Morocco. We've just left Arachidia, and we are heading towards Chichawa. I think it's Chichawa. So we're not actually in Europe. Thanks for following, Kai. Thanks for following. I think your username is an emoji that won't render in TikTok Studio, but thank you anyway. Thanks, Lucas the Beast. I like this game, but I'm terrified of driving IRL, says Kate. Honestly, Kate, same. I wouldn't say terrified, but I don't think I'd be comfortable driving in real life. That's one of the reasons that I don't drive in real life, is that I just don't think I could trust myself behind the wheel of a car. Among other reasons, there's a lot of reasons that I don't drive, but that is definitely one of them. How are you in Morocco? I don't have it as a mod, says Corbin Ashley. Yes, so this mod in particular is called North Africa, but I am playing with almost 200 mods, so there's quite a lot of stuff in here. I'll show you the map. Here we go. So this is North Africa. All of this is from the North Africa mod. Here's Europe itself. We've got quite a lot of Russia over here. You can see here. We can go all the way across to the very east of Russia. We can even visit North and South Korea and a little bit of China. We can go to Southeast Asia. We can go Laos. We can go Indonesia, Myanmar. We can even go all the way down to Tasmania in Australia. We can go right the way down to South Africa. In fact, we have already been on a drive all the way to South Africa. You can see here, we've driven all the way down through Uganda, Botswana, right down to Cape Town. There's there's quite a few places that we can go. We got quite a lot of mods. Where in the UK are you from, says Admiral Akbar. I'm from South Yorkshire, Admiral Akbar. I live in Doncaster at the minute. Great username, by the way. Love Admiral Akbar, one of my favourite characters from the original trilogy. But yeah, I currently live in Doncaster. I'm originally from Harrogate in North Yorkshire, but now I live in Doncaster. Have you got UK cities like Milton Keynes? I don't think we got Milton Keynes. There are quite a few UK cities, but the cities in the UK are quite dense, and there just isn't space for all of them in the game. Just wondering if you're trans. I am indeed, yes. Love him in the show. Me too. Yeah, great character. Great character. What's your pronoun? She, her. Thanks for asking, Charlie Saves. Have you ever been abroad? If so, what's your favourite country? Says Robert. I have actually never been abroad, Robert. Yeah, I've never left the UK. I want to, absolutely. I do want to travel. When I've got a bit more money, I'd love to. There's a few places that I'd love to visit. I've never been abroad because I grew up. I'm from a working class background. Growing up, we just never had money for that sort of thing. Our yearly holiday was just to the seaside, Skegness or Mablethorpe or, those sort of places. We could never really afford to do an international holiday when I was growing up. And since adulthood, I've just never really had the chance to do it. Like I say, there are places that I'd like to visit. There's definitely a few countries that I'd like to go to. Especially in Europe, I'd love to go France, Germany. I want to go to Japan. I've said many times that Japan is definitely an ambition of mine. But yeah, it just hasn't happened yet. There's still time. I'm only 26. I've got plenty of time to explore the world. But as yet, unfortunately, I have never been outside the UK. What's your pronouns? She, her. Ever go to Butlins, says Cal. I have been to Butlins once, yes. We did go on a Butlins holiday once. That was in Skegness, I believe. Multiplayer today, says Truck Spotter. Not today, Truck Spotter. We're on single player at the moment. What's your name, says LFC Joseph. My name's Saul, S-A-U-L. Do you play on PC or console, says Andrew Dunn. PC, Andrew. Unfortunately, this game isn't on console. What's your gaming PC specs? Intel i5 processor, 11400F. RTX 2070 graphics card, that's 8 gigabytes, 32 gigs RAM, and 5 terabytes storage. Just thought I'd pop in and say hi. Hi, Strawberry Plant, how are you doing? Can you DM the mod names, and where can you download all the map mods from? So I am putting together a mod list at the minute. Corbin Ashley and Diddy Freaked Me, interesting username, both asking for the mods there. I am putting together a mod list at the minute. I'm not sure when it's going to be ready, but I will be doing a mod list with all of the download links for all of the different mods that I'm using. It might, hopefully I can get it ready before the next stream, so this time next week I should have it for you. But at the minute I don't, unfortunately. Right, what's going on here? I didn't actually run a red light, by the way. The light was green when I went through it, but unfortunately those guys were just sort of stood there in the middle of the intersection. Do the mods cost money, says Corbin Ashley? Nope, they're all free mods. All the mods that I've got are available to download, totally free. Most of them are from a website called Trucky Mods. I recommend checking out Trucky Mods if you want to get mods for Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. That's where a lot of mod makers publish their mods for Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator. Where's your trailer, says Truck Spotter. Here's my trailer, Truck Spotter. It's the Feldbinder ADR trailer at the minute. What version is this? I'm on 1.54 at the minute. That's the compatibility version for most of the mods right now. Is it real people in the game or just NPCs? They are all NPCs at the minute, Lucy. You can play Truckers MP, which is a multiplayer server. But it's not compatible with the mods that I'm using, so I'm on single player at the minute. Hi Dagger, how you doing? What does your horn sound like? Unfortunately I can't show you, Truck Spotter, because once again my horn doesn't work. It's a bug with the game for some reason. It's not a problem with the controller, it's the actual in-game horn doesn't work. Like, even if I press the horn button on my keyboard, it doesn't do anything. So there's some kind of glitch that's making my horn not work. Where's your low loader? At the minute, the low loader is in our garage in Craiova. What game is this? Says Seihan. Euro Truck Simulator 2. Rip Luna, says LFC Joseph. Thanks, Joseph. Speaking of, though... Oh, nearly. I thought it was going to be a crash there. Speaking of Luna, I am looking at getting a new jumping spider hopefully next week. I haven't checked the spider shop lately to see if they've got the species that I want in yet, but I really want to get a new spider soon. It's been nearly 2 months now since Luna died, and the enclosure's still sitting there empty, so I am looking to get a new spider very soon. But like I say, I'm just waiting for the particular species that I'm after to be in stock at the spider shop. There will be a live stream when that happens, though, because I know a lot of you guys do enjoy my spider-related content. So I'll definitely be doing a live stream when I do get my new spider. And like I say, hopefully it'll be soon. Is this on Xbox? This is PC only, MTB, sorry. What do you do in this game? You drive trucks and you do deliveries. At the minute we're delivering 21 tons of acid to Chichawa in Morocco. Oh god, I might have to increase the dead zone on this wheel because it seems like it's getting even worse with the drift. Look at that. I mean, that's really badly drifting to the left right now. I think after this job I might adjust the... In fact, I can do it right now. 1 second. Okay, options. Controls. Yeah, let's put the dead zone up a little bit. I can't put it up too high, because if we put it up too high, then we'll have to turn the wheel really far to get any result. I feel like even 3% might be too much, actually. Let's go for 2%. See how that works for us. Oh god, lag, lag, lag. Okay, that seems a bit better. It's not pulling to the left anymore. Unfortunately, it does feel like I'm having to turn the wheel a bit too far before it actually starts turning. That's why I only had it on 1% before. But I'll see how I get on with it. I think we'll be able to do this full job without a rest stop as well, by the way. Stay in the middle of the lane, says Seth. No problem, Seth. Staying in the middle. What country are you in, says Brado. At the minute, Brado, we're in Morocco. Whoa! I thought you told me to stay in the middle, Seth. I just nearly crashed. Why mods, says Alfie? Because the game's so much more fun with mods. I love playing games with mods. Like I've said before, I think mods can take a great game and make it even better, you know. And I think Euro Truck is a great example of that, because I love Euro Truck. I absolutely love the base game, but mods just make it even better, you know. I downloaded some mods. Nice one, Corbin. Have fun with them. What's the best looking city in the game, in your opinion, says STFC? Good question, STFC. There are some really nice looking cities. I mean, I do have my main garage in Craiova, and the reason that I picked Craiova is because it's a really nice looking city. And I think Romania in general looks incredible in this game. So I might say Craiova. Will you be doing ETS2 every week again now, says Truckspotter? For the foreseeable future, yeah. Oh, I tell you what though, Sarajevo in... is it in Croatia? I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Sarajevo is also an absolutely beautiful country. It's not in Croatia, it's in... I don't know. I'm bad at geography. What's this country here? It's a nice city. Sarajevo's a nice city that is in a country I can't remember the name of. Somebody please tell me. It's Mars, says Mason. Maybe so. Are the drive times realistic, says Apes Fitness? No, they're condensed. Transvestite, says Aidan Donachi. I prefer transgender, but yes. It is essentially just a more modern word for the same thing. Steering's a bit juddery. Is it calibrated, says Kurt Chalona? Yes, the steering's juddery because of the wheel itself. It's not a software problem, it is a hardware problem. It's just an old wheel that's been worn out over the years. It's been getting worse and worse the last couple of months, so I am definitely looking to upgrade fairly soon. But yeah, that's a hardware problem, unfortunately. It's in Bosnia. Thank you, Balaclava Man. Yes, Sarajevo is in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank you very much. I would say that might be one of my favourite cities as well. It is absolutely beautiful. And we got a garage there. Did you have to get surgery, says Jake? No, I haven't had any surgery, Jake, and I don't intend to. What do you identify as? I'm a trans woman. I came out about 4 years ago. I've lived as a woman ever since. What is the aim of the game? The aim of the game is just to deliver stuff with trucks. At the minute, I'm delivering 21 tons of acid to Chichawa in Morocco. You just do jobs, make money, repeat. Do you have pedals, says Dylan? I do, Dylan, yes. I've got brake and accelerate. Unfortunately, no clutch pedal at the minute. When I upgrade my wheel, I will be getting some new pedals as well, and I do want to get a clutch pedal, make it a bit more realistic, but at the minute I've only got brake and accelerate. Hello, Who's Kitty Cat? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I was going to say something bad, but honestly, you seem happy and I hope you have a great day. Well, thanks, I guess, IWKWVR. How long's this drive, says Dylan Kai? 2 hours left, so I'd say maybe 15 minutes. What's your current wheel, says Anne Fazil. This is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. I got it as a bundle with the side panel here. One sec. But yeah, Logitech heavy equipment wheel there. What's your pronouns, if you don't mind me asking? She, her. Thanks for asking. Doing good. Are you in a VTC, says Who's Kitty Cat. What's VTC? Is that all your real hair, says Brado? It is indeed. This is my real hair. It's a little bit greasy at the minute. I need to have a bath. It's this weather, though. This weather dries my hair out really bad, so it's a little bit... it's not as silky smooth as usual today, but this is all my own natural hair. I've been growing this since Christmas 2020, so almost 5 years now. Are you from the UK? I am, yes. I drive fuel tankers, sort of the same. Nice one, Wayne. Is the game realistic times and everything? Says AT74747. No, it's condensed. So the map is at a scale of 1 to 19. So it's 19 times smaller than real life. And obviously the time is compressed to accommodate that as well. Do you play other games? Yes, I currently stream Minecraft on Mondays and Farming Sim on Fridays, if you want to join me for either of those. Can the police pull you over, says Mason? They can't pull you over, no, but they can give you tickets for speeding or wrong way offences or headlights, stuff like that. But they can't actually physically pull you over. Thanks for following BCFC, Dan. Oh, a lot of lag again here. We're in the lag zone. Hi, Callum. How are you doing? Do off the road there. Are the other trucks players or NPCs, says Abe's Fitness. They're NPCs. We are on single player Abe's Fitness, so all of the other cars, buses, trucks, everything is NPC controlled. Corbin says, I turned traffic offences off. Fair enough, honestly. I like having them on. I think when you get to a certain point, they don't really affect your money that much anyway. So I always have the traffic offences on. But I mean, I've got 11.5 mil. A speeding ticket doesn't really do much to me. This is why IRL speeding tickets should be proportional. And I will die on that hill. Something on my screen. There we go. Do you play other games? Yes, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I play Minecraft on Mondays and Farming Sim on Fridays. What does proportional mean, says Jake? So in the case of parking tickets and speeding tickets, proportional means as a proportion of income instead. So, like, instead of being a fixed price, it's like 5% of your daily income or whatever. It makes it more fair, so that richer people are paying a higher proportion of their income. Well, they're paying the same proportion of their income, which is why it's more fair, you know. Because the way real-life speeding tickets work is, if a speeding ticket costs like if you get like a £200 speeding ticket, for example, if you're like on the lower end of the income spectrum, then £200 is a devastating amount of money to pay for a speeding ticket, right? Whereas if you're a millionaire, £200 for a speeding ticket is literally nothing. So basically you can just speed as much as you want and just pay the price every time. Which again is why I think that things like speeding and parking tickets should be proportional instead. It just makes it more fair and balanced, you know, for everyone. You look strong, says One Way RJ. I'm not, but thank you. Oh shit! Customer expects the delivery soon. We weren't supposed to sleep. Oh, we're late. I didn't even... For God's sake, I didn't even realise... I just instinctively went to sleep because we'd refueled, but I didn't need to sleep, and now we've missed our delivery. We're going to get a fine for being late. Great. Great. Good work. Thanks for following, Zach Wheeler. Do you play the American Truck Sim, says Who's Kitty Cat? No. I'm not really interested in American trucking. I'm not really interested in American-style trucks. I like the cab-over designs that we have here in Europe. I'm not really a fan of the big rigs and the T-cab designs that they have in the United States. It's just not really for me. I prefer the European style of trucking. Lose your license if you speed too much, so they can't speed as much as they want, but that makes sense. Yeah, I'm aware, obviously, that you do get points on your license as well, so you can still have your license revoked if you speed too much. But, like I say, the point I'm making is that if it's like a one-time thing, it's a lot less consequential for someone with a much higher income compared to someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, you know? I need a drink. My throat's getting a little bit sore. I've been talking too much. Stop asking questions. Okay, that's better. What's in your PC, says Jake. If you mean what's my specs, Jake, I've got an Intel i5 11400F CPU, RTX 2070 GPU, that's 8GB, 32GB RAM, and 5TB storage. Have you been to Greenland, or are you making your way there, says STFC? We haven't been to Greenland yet, no. Not on stream, anyway. I have been to Greenland a couple of times in my own time, but I don't think we've ever been there on stream. Okay, we're 52 minutes away. I can't believe we're going to be late because I went to sleep without thinking about it. I'm disappointed in myself. Would you like to see a remastered ETS2, like updated graphics and physics, says STFC? I don't think we really need it, to be honest, because Euro Truck has been continually updated over the years, and it's had so many overhauls. Like, version 1.5 that released last year was a complete graphics overhaul. I don't think it's perfect. I think there's still definitely improvements to be made. But it is one of those games that's continually updated, and they do continually remaster parts of the map, or they'll do a graphics update, or a UI update, or a sound update, you know. So I don't think we need an entirely new game. But I do think, you know, they should continue to do what they are doing and continue to keep updating this game. Also, woke nonsense says, see, I agree. Euro Truck is such a woke video game. Probably one of the wokest games out there. What wheel are you using, says Tio? Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. I'm talking about you, mate. Oh, well, in that case, yes, I'm absolutely... I'm one of the wokest people I know. What truck you in, says Charles Rocket. This is the Scania Streamline R730. Does that mean you're driving 52 minutes in real time? No, Cheddinator. It's probably going to be in about 5 minutes, I'd say. You can see it's already gone down to 21 minutes. Lovely bit of kit that is, says Charles Rocket. It is. Fantastic truck. Absolutely love it. Uh, 350 miles is about 35 minutes real time, says Where's Kitty Cat. It does depend, though, on the kind of roads that you're driving on, because a lot of people don't know this, but the game actually, the time scale actually changes depending on the kind of road that you're driving on. So if you're ever driving on like a narrow country road and you think like, oh, it feels like time's going slower on this road, it actually is. The clock moves slightly quicker on motorways, and it moves slightly slower on more rural roads, which helps because it makes the game feel... It makes the times feel a bit more realistic, you know? Because obviously you drive slower on country roads compared to motorways. It makes sense, right? But yeah, the time scale actually does change slightly, depending on the kind of road you are driving on. How long have you been playing ETS? Since 2019, I think, Kitty Cat. I got it while I was in my first... No, I got it while I was in my second year of university, so that would have been 2018. Or it might have even been my first year, actually. I don't know. I could probably have a look on Steam and see when I purchased it. Maybe I'll do that in a minute. What did you study in uni? Says Apple user. Game design. I have a bachelor's in computer science with a specialisation in game design. Why? Because it is one. Well, my ambition is to be a game developer. I'd love to do a solo game project, but I'd also like to work for a game dev studio. I really enjoy making games. It's something that I really find fun. And there is good money to be made in it, if you can get into the industry. Unfortunately, now is not a great time to be getting into the game development industry. all the big studios are doing like massive layoffs at the minute, which just so happened to coincide with me finishing university, so I've been unable to find a game development job so far. But that is what I really want to be doing. What? How are we not in the... Okay, I'm going to have to use third-person cam for this one. It's a very tricky spot. God, we're still miles off. Right, you're taking the piss now. Come on. Thank you. Jesus. Late. Lovely. How much of a deduction are we going to get? 11 grand? Fuck off. Fuck this. An £11,000 deduction. Because we were a couple of hours late. Well, we were 4 hours late, actually. Whatever. Okay. Before I do anything else, I'm going to actually see if I can find when I bought the game. Is there any way to see on your Steam profile when you bought a game? I thought there was, but I can't find it off the top of my head right now. I'll have a look later. My husband played this. Nice one. It's a good game. Good game. Okay. It's 5:10. We got time for another job. Let's see if we can carry on southward. There's a lot of jobs just around Morocco. I tell you what, let's go empty for a little bit. Let's drive without cargo and head down the coast a little bit. Let's go to Agadir. That looks like a bigger city. We'll probably have more jobs available than where we are right now. So let's do that. Where'd you get the map combo from, or is it your own custom one? Says STFC. It's a custom map combo. I will be sharing the map combo as soon as I've put the mod list together. But yeah, it's a custom combo. It's very unstable. It took a lot of trial and error just to get the game to launch, and there are definitely a few crash points. So I do want to just get it into a bit more stable of a position before I do release the mod list. But I will be doing so eventually. You will get to play with the same mod list that I'm playing with once I get around to doing that. My husband mods his, has a huge map, plays it for hours. It's so much more fun with mods. Like I say, I think mods can turn a great game into an even better game. And I think for Euro Truck Simulator, that is especially true. It's a fantastic game on its own, but with a few mods, you can make it even better. I just love that I can go pretty much anywhere in the entire supercontinent of Afro-Eurasia. You know, it's amazing. Okay, I'm going to have to put my window down so that I can see my mirror, because it's covered in rain. There we go. And I also need to change lanes, so you're gonna let me cut in now, aren't you? Thank you very much. Pro Mods is a great start for people, says Scott Weasel. It absolutely is, yes. If you are getting into modding Euro Truck, Pro Mods is a great place to start. They've got 5 main packs. Pro Mods Middle East, Pro Mods The Great Step. Those are all map mods. Then they've got a cabin accessories pack and a trailer pack as well. But yeah, Pro Mods, great place to start if you want your first mods. Lots of other mods are built on Pro Mods as well, so quite frequently mods will say, you need Pro Mods to be able to download this mod and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth starting with Pro Mods and building from there. How did I not know about our window feature, said Kieran? You've been able opening windows has been in the game for so long, Kieran. How have you not noticed, Kieran? What's the best Pro Mods to get for up north of Scotland, says Cameron? I think Pro Mods itself, like the one that's just called Pro Mods, or Pro Mods Europe, does add in a bit of stuff. You can see up here. I think all of this stuff here is from Pro Mods, right? If not, there is also a mod called SFIG, SFIGC. Which adds in the Shetland Islands, the Faroe Islands, Iceland, Greenland, and a little bit of Canada. So if you want to visit the Shetland Islands, I recommend that mod. This over here, this might be Pro Mods as well. This is... I can't remember the name of the island. I think it's like Carnaway or something like that. But this is a separate mod as well. But yeah, most of this stuff up here, Fort William, Inverness, Oban... that's all from Pro Mods. Get well soon, bro, says James. I'm not ill, James, but thanks. It sounds nice with the window open as well. I have to admit, it is nice to have the window open. Is there a full island map, says West Essex? Not a full island map. There is a map called Island Map, but if I show you it here, it does leave out quite a significant portion in the south of Ireland for some reason. I'm not an expert on Ireland. Maybe there really isn't that many cities down there. But yeah, this is Island Map. I believe Northern Ireland is Pro Mods. But if you get Island Map, that gives you Republic of Ireland as well. And we haven't really explored much of it. We've been to Dublin, but we haven't really done much apart from that. I really want an Ireland DLC from SCS Software, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that we do eventually get that. Because, yeah, unfortunately, this is the best that you're going to get at the moment until we get an official DLC or until someone else decides to do an Ireland mod. This is all we've got at the moment. How's your voice so deep, says Lennon? Testosterone, Lennon. It's a hell of a drug. you know what? We haven't actually been to the UK in-game for a while, so maybe we will head up in that direction. We could visit the UK and Ireland a little bit before the end of the stream. Let me pull over on the hard shoulder illegally. We'll pretend it's a breakdown. I want my hometown in ETS2. What's your hometown, Cameron? I'd love my hometown in ETS2. I'd love Doncaster to be in Euro Truck. Unfortunately, I don't think it's likely to happen because there isn't enough space. Like, Doncaster would be right next to Sheffield. There just wouldn't be enough space to fit it in. Let's go to Dublin. Let's just go straight to Dublin and let's explore Ireland a little bit, shall we? Why is my ETS2 validated, says Corbin Ashley? It does that whenever you install new mods. Make sure you've got the right version as well. Most of the mods you will need to downgrade to... Oh, I need to start the engine before I can put the window... I'm wondering why the window won't go up. It's because the engine's not on. But yeah, if you want to play with mods, you will need to downgrade to beta 1.54, which is fairly easy to do in Euro Truck. If you just Google Euro Truck beta, it'll show you how to do that. But yeah, most of the mods won't be compatible with the newest version of the game. Right, let's go. Well, let's find a job first, actually. Cargo market. My family stay in Donny. Nice one, Cameron. Okay, Dublin. See, all of these places are straight to GB. No, I want to stay here. I want to stay in Ireland. Okay, let's do some driving again then. Let's take a trip down to Wexford with no cargo, and then we'll go from there. What's... Oh, I see what's going on. There we go. Yeah, we'll take a drive down to Wexford, see if we can find any jobs down there, because there aren't any... The only jobs here are going to the UK, and I don't want to go to the UK. I want to stay in Ireland. Go west if Sligo is on the Ireland map. I think Sligo... I did see Sligo on the map. Whoa, left-hand side. They drive on the left in Ireland. I almost forgot. I always do that. Whenever I do it with the UK as well. Whenever I have been driving around for a bit on Euro Truck and then I go back to the UK, I forget to change what side of the road I'm on. And I forgot that Ireland also drive on the left. Farming, please. Next Farming Sim stream is going to be Friday. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head down to Wexford, and then we'll see if we can go west from there. That wasn't red. That was not red when I passed it. No, don't give me that shit. That was amber. I don't care. That was amber when I passed it. Or orange or yellow, whatever colour. What do you call the middle colour of the traffic light? People call it differently, don't they? To be honest, I usually say orange. Or yeah, no, actually, I think I normally say yellow. Amber. I think amber is the official name. You know, that's what you really should call it. But yeah, I normally just say yellow. Do you have all countries of Eurotruck? Says PT. Yes, we can go to every single country in Europe, as well as quite a few countries in Africa and Asia as well. But we do have every single country in Europe available to us now, which is incredible. Can you go Estonia? Not today, PT, unfortunately. We're probably going to stick around Ireland for the rest of today's stream. But I do have a garage in Estonia. At least I'm pretty sure it's Estonia. Liepāja is in Estonia, isn't it? I'm sorry if I'm just offending everyone with my terrible geography today. Liepāja... There we go. No, Liepāja is in Liepāja is in Latvia. I've got a garage in Latvia, not Estonia. I'm sorry. I'm sorry again. I'm offending people with my bad geography. I don't have a garage in Estonia. I have a garage in Latvia. Thanks for following, PT, and thank you, Dan Carspotter, as well. How do you get Ireland? So you can get the Republic of Ireland with a map called Island Map. Northern Ireland is part of Pro Mods, but for the Republic of Ireland you need Island Map. Is Vatican City there, or is it too small to be its own place? Good question, STFC. I don't think it's here. I could be wrong, because maybe ProMods adds it or something. Let's zoom in. Okay, it's not marked, it's not named. So I would say probably not, unfortunately. So I guess there is one country in Europe that we can't visit. Vatican City. But we can visit the other micronations. We can go to Andorra. We can go to Liechtenstein. I think we can even go to Monaco. Yeah, we can go to Monaco as well. So I think it's just Vatican that we can't go to, unfortunately. There's probably a mod for that. You Google Vatican mods, there probably is one. Thanks for following Newcastle for Life. How much do you pay for all countries? So the official DLCs all cost about £13 each, unless you buy them on sale, which they are on sale fairly regularly. But the mods are all free. All of the mods that I use are free from Trucky Mods or Pro Mods and a couple of other websites as well. What country are you driving to? Says Mark Marin. Currently, Mark, we are in Ireland and we're staying in Ireland at the moment. Thanks for following Tom Bristow. Are you driving to Sligo? At the minute we're driving to Wexford, but it has been requested that I head over to Sligo in the stream, so we'll see what we can do. What's going on here then? Why is the traffic stopped? That was close. Yeah, I was pretty close, Stray Dog, yeah. What are your pronouns? She, her. Thanks for asking, Harry. Look at the particle effects as well, though. The splashes, the mist of the rain. That's from the Brutal... I think it's called the Brutal Graphics and Weather mod. But that's what makes the rain look so realistic and what adds the mist around the cars as well. Really cool little graphics mod. Do you have to extract the island map? If it's a zip or a RAR file, yes. It should be an SCS file for you to be able to actually import it into the game. Is it hard to drive stick, says Joel Lawson? I've found it pretty reasonable so far. It did take a while getting used to. And obviously I'm playing without a clutch pedal, which does make it a bit easier. Well, a lot easier. Okay, why does the traffic keep stopping? I think it's these intersections. Yeah, there isn't the slip road isn't long enough for the traffic to merge properly, so it bottlenecks whenever someone tries to join. I'm guessing that's why, because it's the second time we've stopped near an intersection. Will you get a clutch, says King of BPL? Yes, when I get my new steering wheel. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but when I do upgrade to my next steering wheel, I do want to get a clutch pedal as well. Thanks for following Balaclava Man. Okay, we're nearly there. We are approaching Wexford. The traffic's so slow in this area though. Wow. Look at this, I'm not even doing 40. The speed limit's 56, I'm not even doing 40. Your game's lagging, says Honza. That's because I'm playing with almost 200 mods on ultra high graphics. Where's Ginger today, says King of BPL. There he is. There's our boy Ginger, the tuxedo cat. We didn't actually do a renaming ceremony today, did we? I like Ginger though, I think I'm going to stick with Ginger. I just think it's funny for a cat to have a descriptive name that actually doesn't describe it at all, you know? That's just my kind of humour. I just think it's funny to have a black and white cat called Ginger. Ginger just fits. It does. It just works. A guy in front needs to step on it, says Kieran. Yeah, honestly. Is this Daggerwin, says Tommy. I'm not Daggerwin, Tommy, but I am a big fan of Daggerwin. I'll take that as a compliment. Love Daggerwin's realistic survival series. In fact, it was Daggerwin's realistic survival series that inspired my Farming Sim 22 series. You might remember the series where we played with the Through the Years mod, so we could only buy equipment that was available in the current year. That was partly inspired by Daggerwin's survival Farming Sim series, which I really enjoy. I only stay in the UK in ETS2, says Corbin. You should get out more, Corbin, you really should, because the UK as well is one of the oldest parts of the game at this point. The UK hasn't been updated pretty much since the game was released. The other areas of the map are so much newer and so much nicer looking. I really do hope they do a UK rework soon. But yeah, the UK is like the oldest part of the game at the moment. And it really does show its age, you know. Okay, we have discovered Wexford. Or we will have any second now. What level are you? I'm 228. You're 228 and you haven't left the UK, Corbin? Damn, seriously, go get out into Europe. Go visit France and Germany. I'm only level 69. Okay, Wexford discovered. Right. So, we are in Wexford. Let's see if we can find a job that heads westward. Shame there isn't a road between Waterford and Limerick. Because if we do... To get to Limerick now, we've got to go all the way back up here. But we'll make it work. Okay, Wexford to... There isn't a single job to Ireland. I don't... Why are there no jobs from Ireland to Ireland? Why are they all international? Okay, you know what? We can just drive there anyway. We don't actually need to have a cargo, do we? We can just drive for the fun of it at this point. There's only half an hour left, so let's go... Let's go to Sligo. Fuck it. Everyone wants me to go to Sligo. Let's go to Sligo. I think we can do that in half an hour. Only one way to find out. Let's go. And we're off. And we're in 9th gear. We need to be in 3rd. Right. Oh, I should put my axle up as well, because I was supposed to do that like 2 hours ago. So just to prove to you that it is liftable. Oh no, nope, now I've accidentally detached the trailer. Okay, but there you go, you can see we have lifted the spare axle. We're only running on 3 axles now, which is more realistic for the size of trailer that we're transporting at the minute. It doesn't really make sense to have all 4 axles down. So there we go. The second axle is now raised, as it should be. And we're off again. I'd love them to make it more realistic, says King of BPL. I think there are definitely some improvements that can be made to realism. But at the same time, I'm not sure what exactly they can do without it being too much, because I don't want a game that's super realistic, because it gets to a point where it's so realistic that it takes the fun out of it, you know. There are some things that I definitely like to see. I would like to see the ability to actually get out of the truck and have a little walk around and like inspect it and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. I'd like to see visible damage on the truck. So if you have a crash, you can actually see like chipped paint, cracks, broken glass, stuff like that. I'd like to see visible damage on the truck as it gets worn down. It's Euro Truck Simulator though, not game, so it should be realistic as possible. The thing is though, Connor, like, Euro Truck is pretty much universally agreed upon as being an arcade game. Like, almost everyone who plays this game will tell you that it's not actually a simulator. It's the same with Farming Sim. Like, nobody really considers Farming Sim a serious simulator. And I agree. I don't think the name simulator should be used for a game that isn't a simulator, but it is. Like, unfortunately, the game doesn't even try to be a proper simulator. It very much is more of a game than a simulator, which I'm fine with. Like I say, I think the name is a little bit misleading. But again, that being said, there are definitely some improvements that could be made. Like King of BPL says, loading up the trailer, vehicle inspection, stuff like that would all definitely help. How much is it, says Marley K? At the minute, Marley, it will be about a £5 because it's on sale on Steam right now. But the normal price is £13, I believe. would be cool if you could, like... What the hell's this? What the hell's this? How... Okay, there was no way I was going to be able to stop in time there. Why you just fucking stood still? You're on a motorway. Anyway, as I was saying before, Jeep Man there and his family caused me to have an accident. As I was saying, I think it would be good. It might be outside the scope of the game, but it would be good if you could do your own vehicle maintenance. Like you could go into your garage and you could actually get out of the truck and walk around it and like replace the tires and, you know, repair the engine and stuff like that. I think that would go a long way to add in a bit more realism. But again, I think it would just be more realistic if you could actually get out of the truck full stop. Like if you get to a petrol station, for example, it'd be good if you had to actually get out of the truck and use the pump to fill it up rather than just pressing a button, you know? Like, it'd be good if you had to get out and fill the truck up and then you had to go in to pay for the fuel and then come back to the truck. That, I think, would be a small change that would make the game feel a lot more realistic. You can in Alaska Road Trucker. Yeah, I'm familiar with Alaska Road Trucker, Ollie. That might be a game worth checking out on stream, actually. I definitely think, like I say, that is a feature that would be very welcome in Euro Truck, for me personally. And I am aware that other games do have similar features. How much does it cost, says Aaron? Like I say, at the minute it's on sale, so it'll probably only cost you £5, but the retail price is normally about £13. Thanks for following Big Matt Scallon 84. I tell you what would be good, and it'd be really annoying as well, but it'd be really good if you could actually lose the cargo. Like, because recently I did a helicopter job. I transported a helicopter to South Africa, and that helicopter was so damaged by the time we got there. It'd be so funny if you could actually, like, knock the cargo off. Like if you had a really bad crash and the digger on the back just fell off. I think that'd be funny. Or if you didn't properly secure the tarp, if you were carrying like grain or something and you didn't put the tarp on properly, it just all blows away. Like it'd be funny if you could actually lose the cargo, not just damage it, but actually physically lose it. They should do that. They should add that into the game. Losable cargo. Okay, 6 hours 27 minutes. We need a rest in 3 hours. I'm going to actually put a rest stop in on the map. Is there a rest stop there? There's a fuel place there, but it doesn't say whether there's a rest stop. I don't want to risk it. We've literally just passed one as well. There's one... Oh my god, why are there no rest stops here? Do you just not have motorway service stations in Ireland? Where are they all? Okay, we'll have to go to this one, and fingers crossed there will also be a sleeping spot there. Oh, it stopped raining. Lovely. Put the window back up. Ooh, it's quiet. Oh, it's. I didn't realise how quiet it was without the with the window up. Hold on. I'm going to make a highly illegal move. Is there an invisible barrier there? There isn't an invisible barrier there. but I don't think this is actually a usable petrol station because we are off the map right now. It's worth a try. I should point out I've also got a mod that removes all of the barriers, so you can quite easily take a wrong turn and just go outside the map area. Which I think is what I've done here. This doesn't seem to be an actual usable petrol station, so you live and learn. Is the game expensive to buy, says Sam? No, it's a very cheap game, actually. The retail price is like £13, but it's always on sale. Literally, whenever there's a sale on Steam, it's always in it. And when it's on sale, it's like a £5. So, I mean, I think 13 quid's very cheap anyway, but if you want to get it even cheaper, just wait for like a week and it'll be on sale. I mean, it's on sale right now in the Steam Summer Sale, so... How much is it at the moment? Like I say, it's the Steam Summer Sale right now, so I would guess it's probably about $4.50 at the minute. That's how much it usually costs when it goes on sale. Is it on Xbox? Unfortunately not, Michael. It's PC only. Thanks for following Bethany on his King. Thank you, Daniel J, as well. And Michael Fairley. Where are you driving to? We're currently driving to Sligo. We're just approaching Dublin at the minute, but we're heading to Sligo. Got it a week ago and already have 190 hours on it. Very great fun, says Glowing Spots. Oh, it really is. It is such a fun game. It's one of those games where you can just get lost in it and play for hours and hours without even realising. You know, you do lose track of time in a game like this because it's just so relaxing. Have you played American Truck Sim, says Bethany on his King? I haven't, Bethany on his King, no. I'm not actually interested in American Truck Simulator, I've got to be honest. I just don't really care for American-style trucks or American-style trucking. You know, the big wide-open, flat countrysides and the big T-cabs, big rigs. I don't really enjoy that sort of stuff. I prefer European-style trucking with the tighter roads and the cab-over trucks and stuff like that. American trucking's just not really my cup of tea, to be honest. I much prefer this kind of thing. So I've never really been inclined to buy American Truck Simulator. 2025 says it's $4.22 on Steam at the moment. That is a really good price. So if you want to get this game right now, it costs £4.22 on Steam. Get it now. Now is the best time to get it. Get some of the DLC as well. Why not? Get yourself a few map expansions. You know, go for it. Treat yourself. My dad does this for a living. Reckon I should get him to play it. So Andy, go for it, Andy. Yeah, get your dad to play it. I love hearing from actual truck drivers who play the game because there are, but you know, quite a lot of real truck drivers do play Euro Truck. And it is always interesting to hear their perspective and hear how it compares to the real thing, you know, how different it is to real life trucking. What's the vehicle AI sound mod you have? It's just called Traffic AI. It's called Better Traffic AI Sounds, I think. Better AI Traffic Sounds, sorry. Yeah, it's called Better AI Traffic Sounds, and it does make the AI traffic sound a lot more realistic. Whoa! Oh my god, do you see that? I only just caught that out of the corner of my eye. I was looking at the chat, and holy shit. That car went flying. That, like, it proper flipped in midair. Damn, and he's just driving off. Driving off. Barely a scratch on him. Incredible. I'm in the wrong lane. Let me over. Just go drive a real truck and get paid, says Connor. Well, Connor, as Glowing Spots says, driving a truck in a video game is absolutely nothing like driving a truck in real life. You know, I mean, I literally said earlier, this game is not a true simulator. It's more of an arcade game. It's not like Flight Sim, where Flight Sim is so realistic that you know that real pilots train with Flight Simulator. You can't do that with Euro Truck. It's completely different to the real thing. It really is. Oh, it's a toll booth. This isn't even a petrol station at all. It's a toll booth. Where am I going to sleep? I need to sleep. How long have I got? I've got an hour and a half. I've got an hour and a half to get to a rest point. We're not going to make it. There's no services. Why does this motorway not have a single service station on it? What? Ireland, where are your motorway services? There's nothing. There's no... Galway. That's literally the nearest place is Galway. That is the nearest place that we can sleep. And it's 3 hours away. I mean, we don't really have much choice. We're going to have to just floor it and hopefully not fall asleep before we get there. This is going to be a risky one, guys. Thanks for following, Jack Crossland. I'm going to have a drink because my voice is getting a bit coarse again. A bit more Iron Brew. To go through the toll, you must pay £6. Press the following key. There we go. Have you tried it up the back door yet? Says him. Honest question. Have you, him? Honest question, him. Have you tried it up the back door? Not personally, no. Fair enough. Me neither. There we go. We've learned something about each other today. Is this on PS5, do you know, says Jamie? It's not, Jamie, no. This is PC only. Oh shit, wait, are we supposed to be... We're supposed to be going left. Okay, that is not a road that we can actually drive on. Where did you get the mods from, says Callum? Most of the mods are from a website called Trucky Mods. Lots of the biggest developers for Euro Truck post their mods on Trucky Mods, so that's a good place to look for them. Apart from Pro Mods, which has its own website, and there's a couple of others that have their own websites as well. But most stuff you can get on Trucky Mods. Big shame that this never got to console, says Cattle Hayes. Yeah, it really is. I think... I don't see why it couldn't be on console now. I understand when it first came out, you know, the consoles were still on PS3 and Xbox 360, but with the PS5 and the newest Xbox, I don't think it would have a problem running on consoles now. I think in 2025, I think it is about time this game came to console. I really think it would be great if it was on console. Maybe there is a reason for it. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe there's a problem with like the programming language or something like that, or licensing issues. I don't know. But I don't really see any reason why it shouldn't be on console in 2025. So it would be really great to see. It would be really great if we could get it on console at some point. You're getting tired? Find a place to rest. Okay, we really have to floor it now. It's time to do some unsafe driving because we are about to fall asleep at the wheel and it's still nearly 2 hours to Galway. It's unsafe driving time. Here we go. If they can have Flight Sim on console, they can do this. Exactly, Jamie. You would think. If you can get Flight Sim on console these days, I don't see any reason why you couldn't get Euro Truck. Was the setup expensive? I'm looking for one, says Callum. So my setup in total costs about £2,000. The equipment here, the steering wheel and gear shifter and handbrake and all that stuff, that cost about 400 for all of that. But for my entire setup, just over £2,000. Thanks for following, John White. Would you drive a real lorry, or is this a hobby? Says Nathan Kearney. I just play the game. I just like the game. I wouldn't want to drive a truck in real life. Like I say, I don't even drive a car in real life, and I don't really... I don't think I'd feel comfortable driving, especially not a HGV. Okay, we're still an hour and a half away. Oh my god. We might be falling asleep at the wheel here, folks. I don't think we're making it to the next rest stop. Is the AI sound a Steam mod? It is, yes. The AI traffic sounds are available on Steam. How much is the game? At the minute, Oisian Sean. At the minute, the game's £4.22 on Steam if you want to get it now. Would you ever drive? Says Cole. No, Cole, I don't think I would. I just don't really have any need to. For me, everywhere that I can get to, everywhere that I need to get to, I can get there on public transport. I just don't see the point in driving. It's way too much money, and I'd probably, even if I had a car, I'd probably never use it, you know? So I just don't really need or want to be honest. Can't wait till December, then I can start driving. Good luck, Cole. I do hope it goes well. Okay, we have got an avoid sleeping offence, so I am expecting it to all go dark any minute now. And we're still an hour away. Oh, look at that. That truck has the RoX Logistics logo on it. So one of the other mods that I'm playing with is called RoX, short for Romania Expansion. Really good mod. Recommend. It is compatible with Pro mods, but you do need a connector to make it work. Whoa! Whoa! Fuck off! No! That is a miracle. That is an absolute miracle that I didn't hit that bus just then. Holy shit. What a time to change lanes, man. I honestly don't know how that didn't result in a collision. Jesus Christ. Wow. Anyway, we're only 36 minutes away from Galway now. We need fuel as well, though. God, there's no petrol stations either. There is not a single petrol station or motorway services anywhere on that motorway. Okay, it is 5 to 6, by the way. It does look like we're going to overrun a little bit today. But to be fair, we did start the stream nearly 15 minutes late, so I don't mind going over a little bit today. I did promise that we'd visit Sligo, so I'm not going to end the stream until we actually get to Sligo, which should take another 10-15 minutes or so. Okay, Galway. Ooh. Should pop up on the screen in a minute. Galway discovered. What wheel are you using, says Brian Edwards. This is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. Galway was discovered ages ago, says Cathal Hayes. Good point, Cathal, good point. I'm going. There we go, Galway discovered. What was that mod called? Oh, I forgot. The mod, the AI traffic sounds mod. It's just called. It might be called real AI traffic sounds, or it might just be called AI traffic sounds. But I mean, the Steam Workshop is fairly lenient with stuff like that. You could probably just type in traffic sounds, and it'll be like in the top results. Thanks for following, Brian Edwards. Buy blue light glasses. I have blue light lenses in my prescription glasses. It helps with gaming. Interesting, Isaac. I don't actually wear glasses. Technically, I do need glasses. I'm slightly long-sighted in my left eye. But I haven't worn them for a long time. I really need to go and get my eyes checked again to see if I still need them, which I probably do. And get some new ones prescribed. Thanks for following, Mark Rappel. Can you drive in Canada without mods? You can't, Manners. No, you do need the Canada mod to drive to Canada. And if you're on American Truck Simulator, there's also Pro Mods Canada. Okay, sleep at last. Thanks for the heart me and the go popular, Marianne. And thanks, Robert, for the heart me. I think that was a while ago now, but thanks very much. Can I ask a question on the Discord, please? It's not going through on TikTok. Yeah, sure, STFC, yeah. The Discord is, you know, a place to ask questions as well. If there's anything you want to ask me off stream or when I'm not streaming, if you still want to chat with me and speak with me about stuff, Discord is the best place to do that. Okay, so now we're going to go refuel, and then we're quite close to Sligo. Like I say, I think it's probably going to take another 10 minutes, maybe 15, and then we'll be in Sligo, and that's where we'll end the stream for today. I'm on the wrong side of the road. Shit. I'm so bad at... Genuinely, it's because I drive in mainland Europe so much, I keep forgetting to switch to the left-hand side when I'm in the UK or Ireland. Oh, never mind, just changed. Ooh, big lag spike there. Okay, Sligo and Dublin. Damn, you have a full rig here, says Simsy. I do indeed, yes. It's taken me a long time to get myself to this point, but I've got the steering wheel, the side panel, the handbrake, ignition lock, beacon light, gear shifter. I've got quite a lot of stuff. YOLO lines. Pretty cool. Thanks, Simsy. I'm getting a little bit of XP for free roam as well, by the way. I don't know why it doesn't go through, but it's in the Discord anyway. Thanks, STFC. I'll check it out in a moment. In fact, if it's not, as long as it's, you know, safe for work, I can read it out now. Just give me a second. The key to turn on the engine, is that part of the wheel or separate? Ah, okay. 1 second. It's separate. Hang on, where's that gone now? There we go. Okay. Yeah, the ignition lock is separate. That's from the collector's edition of Farming Sim 25. That doesn't come with the steering wheel or the side panel. Thanks for following, Simsy. Imagine being able to pause IRL. Oh, if only. Yeah, God, can you imagine being in a stressful situation and just being like, pause, I'll go and calm down and come back later and continue this when I've had a breather. Ooh, bit close. Thanks for answering. How much was it? It was £60 for the ignition lock. That's from the collector's edition of Farming Sim 25, which again, £60 brand new. I pre-ordered it. You might be able to get it a bit cheaper now because the game's been out for a while. But if you hang around for like 6 months or so, it'll probably be even cheaper. People will start giving them away, and you'll probably, in a couple of years' time, you'll be able to buy them on eBay for like a tenner. But right now, it will cost you £60. I got that mod, thank you. Nice one, Truck Spotter. Enjoy it. I also recommend realistic train sounds, and you can also get realistic train lengths. Oh, and also get realistic traffic density as well. It makes the traffic more, like, it makes the amount of traffic more realistic. Tuam discovered. What's the mod for this map? Says TGX. This mod is called, I think it's called Ireland Map. It's obviously a map of the Republic of Ireland. You can get to Northern Ireland with pro mods, but for the Republic of Ireland, you need Ireland Map. Thank you so much. No worries. I only like these mods because I love playing realistic. Yeah, Truck Spotter, there are some really great realism mods out there. Like I say, I've got realistic sky and weather as well, which is really great. I've got realistic lighting. I've got all sorts of stuff. In fact, at the end of the stream, I might quickly show you my mod list. Is Scania your favourite truck? Says Franz Conrad von Hotzendorf. Yes, I would say Scania is probably my favourite truck brand. I'm not exactly a truck expert. But what I do know about trucks is enough to tell me that Scania is one of the best. Absolutely love Scania. Okay, we're going to head to Sligo now. This is going to be the final drive of the stream. Already got traffic density. Nice one, truck spotter. I heard they're the Rolls Royce of trucks. Honestly, that's a pretty good description, friends. There's this guy on YouTube. I forget his name. I always forget his name. But there's this American guy who bought a Scania Streamline, and he takes it around all the truck shows in the United States, like all the big truck expos and, you know, truck meets and stuff like that. And it's crazy to watch the American truck drivers sit behind the wheel of a Scania for the first time, because every single one of them is like, holy shit, this is so futuristic compared to American trucks. The thing about American trucks is they are... Well, basically the big truck manufacturers in the United States, people like Kenworth, Mack, and so on, they basically lobby really hard against foreign trucks being exported. It's really hard to get a Scania in the United States because the truck companies there have lobbied for tighter restrictions on imports. So basically you have this situation where any domestic truck that you buy in the UK, in the United States, is like 20-25 years out of date compared to the European ones. But the thing is, the American truck drivers don't know that because it's nearly impossible to get a European truck in America, right? Oh, bit of a crash there. So yeah, this guy basically goes around America with his Scania and shows it off at truck meets and stuff, and it's so strange to see how impressed they are by it and just how much better it is and more futuristic it is and up to date than a lot of the American trucks. Thanks for following, Alistair, by the way. I love this game. Me too, Westy. The old trucks are so much better. I disagree, Westy. I don't really have that connection with vintage trucks. With stuff like tractors, I'm a huge fan of vintage tractors and retro tractors. But with trucks, I don't really have that connection. I've always felt that modern trucks are better. Like I say, especially Scania, just such a great brand. I do think they're the best trucks you can buy. On Farming Sim, I only run old tractors, said Alistair. We did something like that last year with FS22. We did a classic tractors only game, which was really fun. Again, big fan of classic tractors. Absolutely love classic tractors. Thanks for following C-Block Grafter. What does the outside of the truck look like? This is the outside of my Scania Streamline R730. It is in the colours of the Trans Pride flag, as you can probably tell. And we've got an actual flag in the cab as well. And a cat. We got a cat. He's called Ginger. Please ignore Wishbone, everyone. I would block him, but we're nearly at the end of the stream anyway. It's not really worth the time and effort to tab out of the game and block him. But just ignore him. At the end of the stream, can you show some of your realistic mods one by one? Yes, Truckspotter. Before I end the stream, I will show you my mod list, and I'll show you the Steam Workshop mods that I've got, which I do recommend getting. Got a few realism ones, which are very nice. What's your opinion on trans kids, was wondering, says Westy. I mean, my opinion is that we should do as much as we can to accommodate trans kids. The only thing that should be off the table is medical transition, which it already is anyway. There's, you know, trans kids don't medically transition unless it's like really extreme circumstances. I think things like changing your name or changing the clothes you wear or asking people to call you by different pronouns, that's all pretty harmless, reversible stuff. I do disagree. I do agree, you know, we shouldn't be, you know, children shouldn't be having surgery or hormones or things like that, but they don't anyway, so there's really nothing to get mad over, I don't think. I think when people hear trans kids, they immediately think about medical transition, but medical transition is such a small part of your overall transition. Like, I haven't done any medical transition. All I've done is changed my name, change the clothes I wear, and change the pronouns that I use, basically. That's the only significant changes I've made. So, and that's basically the same with trans kids. They don't actually do any of the medical stuff that trans adults might go for. Is the sun brightness a mod too, says Truckspotter? I think that might be the realistic weather mod as well. I'll double check when we get to the end. What truck are you using, says Beth and Leon is King. We're using the Scania Streamline R730. Once again, in the colours of the Trans Pride flag. I call it the Trans Truck. Can't wait to get these mods. Love how realistic your game is. Thanks, Truckspotter. It's really good. I'll tell you how to get the 4K trees and grass as well. It might not show up very well on stream, but all the trees and grass and bushes and everything all have 4K textures, which adds even more realism to it. But those ones aren't on Steam Workshop. I think there might be a 4K tree mod on Steam Workshop, but not the grass or bushes. They're third party. Is this the only truck you use, says Beth? Pretty much, Beth, yes. Since I bought this truck, it's pretty much the only one I use now. My other trucks, I do have quite a few other trucks, but they're mostly being used by my workers, by other drivers. This is the only one that I really use myself regularly. Can you just show me Steam mods for now? Yeah, no worries, Truckspotter. I'll show you when we finish. We're nearly there now anyway. It's literally just round this next corner. Thanks for following, hey. I do need to change lanes here, which is going to be a bit tricky because of all this traffic. Never mind, I'm going. Just because my PC hates website mods. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. How are you, said Alfie. I'm good, Alfie, thank you. Have you bumped into other players? Well, we're on single player today, Dreydog, so no bumping into other players. We have had... we did have one minor collision a little while ago. We hit a car on a roundabout. But that's it. That's 1% damage. That's the extent of it. You shouldn't be driving and using your phone, says FTS. Honestly, yeah. I mean, reading the chat is sort of the gaming equivalent to being on your phone whilst driving. And it has caused a couple of accidents on occasion. So, okay. We're in Sligo. We made it. Sorry we don't really have time to look around it, because we are going to have to end the stream in just a few minutes, but here it is. So we'll pick up the next stream from here, and we'll try and do some more Ireland-based jobs, and I'd like to go up to Scotland a bit as well, because we haven't really explored much of the Highlands and Islands area of Scotland, so we'll see what we can do. But for now, that's going to be the end for the Euro Truck section. I will go to the title screen, and we'll take a look at the mod list. I'd love to be a HDV driver. Do you do it for reals as FDS? I don't do it in real life for FDS, no, but big respect to HGV drivers out there. It is a very important job and a very difficult job. When's the next stream, says Beth? Next stream is going to be Farming Sim on Friday. Okay, so here are the Steam Workshop mods. Oh, no, that opens the Steam Workshop. Go back to the game. Okay. I think the Steam Workshop mods have a little Steam Workshop icon on them as well if you scroll down through here. Well, maybe not, because I can't find any. Hold on. Ah, there we go. If I tick this box at the top, it says show only Steam Workshop items. There we go. So these are the Steam Workshop mods that I've got. I'll just quickly talk you through them. Waze navigation, that just overhauls the sat-nav. It adds a few more variations to the sat-nav. I've got the dark mode sat-nav. It's an interesting thing. It doesn't really affect gameplay that much, but it's interesting if you want to check it out. We got realistic rain and water and thunder sounds. That's a really good one. I really recommend that if you want more realism. Is the game music too loud, by the way? Let me know if you can actually hear me talking over the game music. It's a bit loud for me. Then we got realistic train lengths. This just makes the trains longer, so they're more realistic. Realistic vehicle lights mods. That's another good one to get. Corrosa 95. If you want to drive a bus in Euro Truck, get the Corrosa 95 pack. Although you will need DB bus assets as well, but we'll get to that. But in terms of the realism ones, realistic rain, water and thunder, realistic vehicle lights, realistic train lengths, realistic brutal graphics and weather, absolute must-have. Real train sounds, real traffic density. Basically, anything. If I just search the word real, anything with real in it, that's what you're going to want to get. So all of these ones are what you're going to want to get. Truck Spotter. If you want to like screenshot the stream or something, so you can get these. Are they all free to download? Yes, these are all on the Steam Workshop. So you just go to Steam and you can download the. You can even do it here. If I press this icon here, it opens the Steam Workshop in-game, and I can download stuff right from it. But yeah, these are, if you want realism, these are the best ones to go for. We got real fuel prices, real traffic sounds, real traffic density, real train sounds, real graphics and weather, realistic vehicle lights, and realistic train lengths. And realistic rain, water, and thunder. Okay, have you got a screenshot, Truck Spotter? Because I'm going to take it off the screen now. Okay, it's going off the screen. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I'll talk you through the full mod list at some point, because we haven't really looked at it just yet. We'll do that in future. Thanks for following, by the way. It's satisfying, yippee. So that's the end of the Euro Truck section. Obviously, I am going to do a wrap-up, so stick around if you're interested in that. But the Euro Truck is over from now. Okay, let me just pop the chat back in. And then get the music on. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope you've had a wonderful stream. I've certainly enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. Lots of new followers today, which is always appreciated. We got to 730, which is incredible. We're getting ever closer to 7,000. Less than 300 to go now. Please do share the stream, share my videos, get your friends involved. Please do help me get to 7k, because we are tantalizingly close at this point. But thanks everyone for joining today. I've really enjoyed it. We explored a bit of North Africa, we explored a bit of Ireland. Very fun. Sorry about the crashes at the beginning of the stream as well, but hopefully we won't have any issues like that in future. I'm still working on the mod list, and once it's done, it will be available on the Discord server. So if you want to play with the mods that I'm using, Please be patient. That will be coming as soon as I can get it to you. But that's all for today. My voice is getting a little bit... I'm getting a little bit tired of speaking, to be honest, so I think we are going to have to wrap things up. Next stream is going to be Friday. We're going to be doing Farming Sim, obviously, so please do come along and join us for that. The Farming Sim streams normally do quite well, so hopefully this week's will as well. There's going to be a video coming on Thursday, which is going to be my 3rd Peak District video. And, well, there's no easy way to put this. It's 27 minutes long. So if you want to watch me stumble around the Peak District for nearly half an hour, that video is going to be coming Thursday. It's going to be the 3rd Peak District documentary that I've done. 27 minutes long. It's going to be quite a watch, but you can watch that on Thursday if you're interested. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the stream but you haven't already followed, please do. And if you want to support me on any of these places down here, oh, there we go. If you want to support me at any of these places, links are all in the bio. Join me on Discord if you want to chat with me and get updated when I go live. Follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky if you want to see what I post there, if I ever do. Subscribe on YouTube. Hi everyone on YouTube. And of course, if you would like to support me financially, please do consider checking out my Patreon. Thank you very much to Kate, Sophie, Jess, Daniel and Danny for supporting me over there. It only costs £1 a month. You get access to behind the scenes content as well as a shout out on stream. So for £1 a month, you can't go far wrong. Please do check that out if you're interested. If not, that's absolutely fine. I'm just glad that you were here. I've had a wonderful stream and I will see you on Friday for Farming Sim. I'm going to go and rest my vocal cords because they're really starting to ache. Bye bye everyone. And bye bye YouTube as well. I've had a wonderful time today. I hope you've enjoyed. Not really much to say today. Good stream. See you on Friday for Farming Sim. See you on Thursday for my next video if you want to see that. That's all.